Did you hit perimenopause or menopause and suddenly think, where in the world did this belly come from? Maybe your weight hasn't changed very much, but your body certainly has. Your waist feels thicker, your clothes fit differently, and the weight seems to be settling right around your belly. So naturally, you start wondering, do I need more ab exercises? Should I stop eating carbs? Do I need to fast for longer? Should I add more cardio? Today, I'm going to explain why belly fat can be more noticeable during menopause and what does not work and what actually can help. So I'm Nicole Dalton. I'm a physician assistant, board certified in lifestyle medicine, and a menopause weight loss coach. I help women lose weight, build strength, and create a healthy lifestyle that they can actually maintain. And before we dive in, I'm hosting a free 5-day menopause weight loss challenge called Fast Track. I'll put the link below so you can join us. As always, this video is for general education and is not personal medical advice. Please talk with your own healthcare professional before making significant changes to your nutrition, exercise, medications, or health plan, especially if you have a medical condition or concerning symptoms. Okay. Let's dig in and talk about this menopause belly. First, I want you to know that you are not imagining these changes in your body. Aging and menopause can both affect your body composition. And as we get older, we're gradually losing muscle, especially if we're not strength training, because muscle is metabolically active tissue. Losing it can affect how much energy our bodies are actually using. So what does that mean? So our activity may change. We might be sitting more, sleeping less, dealing with more stress, and moving less throughout the day, even if we're still doing structured workouts. And at the same time, declining estrogen during that menopause transition can influence where our bodies tend to store fat. Many women will notice a shift from carrying more weight around their hips and thighs to now carrying more weight around the belly. That includes both that softer fat that's directly under the skin, which that's subcutaneous fat. That's the fat like on the backs of our arms that we all want to lose. And the visceral fat, which is stored deeper in the abdomen around the organs. That's the dangerous fat. Visceral fat matters because higher amounts are associated with increased risks of diabetes, insulin resistance, high blood pressure, and heart disease. But here is the encouraging part, ladies. Your body may have changed, but you still have a great deal of influence over your health habits, strength, and body composition. We just need to be honest about what actually works here and what doesn't, okay? So what doesn't work is trying to spot reduce belly fat. Let's start with one of these most common myths that I hear. You cannot choose exactly where your body loses fat by exercising that particular area. Okay, doing hundreds of crunches might help strengthen your abdominal muscles, but it will not specifically burn the layer of fat covering them. And that doesn't mean core training is pointless. A strong core supports your posture, your balance, stability, lifting techniques, and daily movement. Those are all super important. But if your goal is to reduce belly fat, doing more crunches is not the entire answer. You need a strategy that helps you reduce overall body fat while protecting or building your muscle. Your genetics and hormones influence where your body stores fat, where it loses it first is all coming from your genetics. Unfortunately, we don't get to send our body a memo that says, please take this body fat from my stomach. So strengthen your core, absolutely, but don't expect ab exercises alone to eliminate the belly fat. Another thing that doesn't work is eating as little as possible. When women become frustrated with belly fat, their first response is often, Nicole, I guess I just need to eat even less. But continuing cutting your calories lower and lower can leave your body feeling hungry, tired, always worried about food, that constant food noise, right? And unable to sustain your meal plan. It can also make it more difficult to consume enough protein and fiber, vitamins and minerals, and it may actually increase the risk of losing muscle along with fat. So a calorie deficit is generally necessary for fat loss, okay? But that does not mean that the largest deficit possible is the best choice. In fact, most of the women I work with are truly just not eating enough, okay? So we want a reasonable, sustainable deficit, calorie deficit, that allows you to continue to live your life, nourishing your body and supporting your workouts. You should not have to white knuckle your way through the day for the diet to be over. Because if your plan only works when you're miserable and restricting everything you enjoy, what happens when you stop? Usually the weight comes back and you blame yourself again. The answer isn't to eat as little as possible. It's learning how to eat in a way that supports fat loss, preserve your muscle, and your long-term health. Okay, so carbs. Let's talk about carbs. They're often blamed for menopause belly fat, but you don't have to eliminate all carbs to make progress. The type, the amount, and context matter. There's a big nutritional difference between a meal containing beans and fruit and oatmeal or a whole grain, and one built around highly processed foods and sugary drinks. Fiber-rich carbs can support your gut health, energy, and fullness, and your overall nutrition. They can also help fuel an active lifestyle and your strength workouts. So rather than asking, how can I cut out all my carbs? Ask, how can I choose higher fiber carbs, pair them with a protein. Always want to put clothes on your carbs. So pair that with a protein and eat portions that support your goals. So that is a much more sustainable question there. Okay. Another thing that doesn't work is trying to out cardio your diet. Okay. Cardio is wonderful for the heart, lungs, endurance, mood, and overall health, right? I'm absolutely not telling you to stop doing it, but endlessly adding more and more cardio while ignoring the nutrition piece or the muscle piece and recovery piece usually isn't the complete solution here, ladies. More exercise is not always better, especially if you're already exhausted and struggling to recover. And a workout does not need to leave you completely depleted to count. Instead of using cardio as a punishment for what you ate, use movement as a way to care for your body. Walking, cycling, swimming, running, dancing, and other forms of any aerobic movement can all be valuable, especially if you get to do those things. You don't have to, but you get to do those things. But combine that movement with strength training and supportive nutrition instead of relying just on your cardio workouts. You can't outrun a poor diet. I'm sure you've heard that saying before. But now let's actually talk about what does help, okay? So build your meals around protein and fiber. So protein and fiber are the two most helpful places to begin. Protein supports your muscle recovery and fullness, and a practical target for many women is around 25 to 30 grams of protein at each main meal, although your individual needs may vary. Rather than eating very little protein all day and then trying to catch up at dinner, work on spreading it out throughout your day. Fiber can also help you feel fuller while supporting your gut health, your cholesterol, and your blood sugar regulation. Include foods like veggies, fruits, beans, lentils, love me some lentils, whole grains, chia seeds, flax seeds, nuts, and more seeds. This doesn't mean your diet has to be perfect, but it means you are building most of your meals around whole or minimally processed foods that nourish you and make it easier to manage hunger. So start with protein, add plenty of plants, choose a high fiber carb, include appropriate amount of healthy fat, and pay attention to your portions, even with your nutritious foods. You don't need a long list of forbidden foods, all the foods you can't eat, right? You need a basic structure that you can repeat consistently. Okay. And another thing that works is by building and protecting your muscle. This is a huge one. Okay. If you want to improve your body comp during menopause, strength training needs to be part of the conversation. And no, you are not too old to begin lifting. Strength training helps you build and preserve muscle. Muscle supports your strength, your mobility, and your bone health, and your blood glucose response. And it helps you become independent and stay independent until you're 100. Okay. I'm especially excited about right now because we recently added a new strength program inside my community of coaching clients, and it's already rocking our world. These women aren't just working toward losing weight. They're learning how to lift safely, becoming more confident with weights, and discovering that they are capable of getting stronger at every single age. I have women in their 70s that are picking up weights for the first time. I'm so excited for them. You do not have to begin with heavy barbells or complicated exercises. You can start with resistance bands and dumbbells in the comfort of your home. And you can even start with body weight. You don't even need weights, okay? But the key is to start and to know how to follow a program that is designed just for you. The key is that structured plan that challenges you and allows you to gradually progress. That's the key there, okay? And remember, the goal isn't simply to make your body smaller. We want to reduce that excess body fat while preserving and building the muscle that will carry you through the rest of your life. What actually works too, another thing is keep walking and continue to include cardio. Don't cut it out altogether, okay? Strength training does matter, but it doesn't replace everyday movement or cardiovascular exercise, okay? Walking is one of the simplest ways to increase your daily activity. You can walk after meals, take a phone call outside, add a short walk at the beginning or the end of your day. Those smaller amounts of movement add up, and you do not need to begin with 10,000 steps. Find your current average and currently build from there. Cardio is valuable. Depending on your health and fitness level, that might include brisk walking. It could include biking. Biking is a great way to improve your fitness without the impact on your joints. Jogging is great. You can do some sit intervals. You can start sprinting a little bit. 10-second, 5-second intervals helps with bone health as well, and fat loss, okay? But research supports using both aerobic, which is your cardio, and resistance exercise, which is your strength training, because they both offer different benefits. So more variety, the better. Aerobic exercise is especially helpful for your cardio fitness and reducing fat, while resistance training is especially helpful for building and preserving muscle. You don't have to choose one or the other, and I encourage all my clients to do both, okay? Another thing that works that most women want to ignore or rush through is don't forget about your sleep and stress, okay? When you're not sleeping well, you're going to be hungrier, you're going to crave more, and you won't even have the energy to make intentional decisions, okay? So stress, when you're stressed, you want quick comfort and immediate relief, which may look like snacking and emotional eating, an extra glass of wine, okay, skipping exercise or staying up too late. So stress management does not magically melt belly fat, but it can help you consistently follow the habits that support your health and weight loss goals. So ask yourself these questions. What is making healthy choices harder right now? Okay. Do I need an earlier bedtime? Do I need help managing menopause symptoms that are interrupting my sleep? Do I need stronger boundaries with my family and friends or work? Do I need a walk, a prayer, journaling, breathing exercises, time outside, or just simply a conversation with another woman that I could connect with? Caring for your sleep and your overall emotional health is not separate from your weight loss plan. It is part of it. And another thing that works is measure more than your scale weight. Okay, so I think this is also one of the most important pieces here. So the scale can be useful, but it does not tell the entire story. If you're strength training and preserving or building muscle while losing fat, the number may change more slowly than you expected. In fact, I have yet to meet a woman that is thinking that she is losing weight fast enough, okay? So whether that's 7 pounds in a week or 1 pound in a week, no woman that I've ever met yet thinks that they're losing weight fast enough, okay? It doesn't mean that your body isn't changing. You got to pay attention to how your clothes are fitting. You got to pay attention to your waist measurement, your strength and your energy, your consistency, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, and other health markers, okay? And so when available, your body composition trends. So when you have a smart scale or a fun app on your phone that you can look over time what your body comp measurements are doing. This is what I do with my clients too. It's fun to see how our body is changing, okay? No single measurement is perfect. Look at the overall pattern before allowing one number to determine whether you're succeeding or not, okay? You might be getting stronger, losing inches, improving your health, and changing your body comp, even when that scale is moving slowly. And that, to me, is better than super quick weight loss, super fast, okay? So just to recap everything we've talked about today. So can you specifically target menopause belly fat? Not exactly. You cannot choose where your body loses fat first, and you cannot crunch it away, but you can create the conditions that support overall fat loss and better body composition. Build your meals around protein and fiber. Create a reasonable calorie deficit instead of starving yourself. Strength train. Walk more. Prioritize sleep, recovery, and stress. And measure your progress with more than the scale. Going back to all these boring basics is exactly what I help my clients do, okay? You are not broken. Your body has simply changed, and your strategy may need to change with it. The goal is not to simply weigh less. It's to reduce body fat, become stronger, protect your health, and create a lifestyle that you continue for the years to come. If you want help putting these pieces together, join me for my free fast track 5-day menopause weight loss challenge. I'll help you simplify what to eat, how to move, and how to begin losing weight without another extreme diet. Click the link in the description to sign up. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what have you tried for menopause belly fat that did not work? Or which of these strategies are you ready to focus on now? If this video helped you, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with another woman who has been wondering where in the world this menopause belly came from. And watch my next video where we're going to talk about another important piece of losing weight and feeling your best during menopause. I'll see you there.